we speak with the new members of the Murfreesboro City School Board. Tell us a little about yourself.
I'm a retired teacher. I taught in Rutherford County for 25 years and most recently taught with Murfreesboro City Schools as a substitute teacher. I have a grandson that's 14 and a granddaughter that's 20. She's a college student, and my grandson is entering his freshman year at White County High School, so I'm really involved in their life.
I'm a product of Rutherford County Schools. Both of my parents were teachers, and my dad was even a principal in Rutherford County and even Murfreesboro City. I've got two children of my own, both products of Murfreesboro City Schools. They both went to Reese Rogers when I was there as a teacher and principal. My son is 28, Hughes, works for First Fleet Logistics and does a great job. And my daughter Sarah Jane just graduated in May from MTSU, so she's getting ready to find a real job.
I grew up here in Murfreesboro. I've got a wife who was a first and second grade teacher at Cason Lane in the Discovery School. I've got a 7-year-old son who goes to a county school, campus school, and my 5-year-old daughter, soon to be 5-year-old daughter's still in the preschool. I practice law. I've been practicing law for about 12 years. And my practice focuses on estate planning and administration.
I have been a parent in Murfreesboro City Schools for the past 8 years. I have two kids, Henry and Ada. Henry is now an 8th grader at Thurman Francis Arts Academy, and Ada is a 6th grader at Central Magnet School. And I'm married to Jason Vance. He's a librarian at MTSU. And I'm an attorney. I work for a nonprofit that's based in Chicago. It's called the Sargent Shriver National Center on Poverty Law.
What do you do in your spare time?
My husband and I have a little cabin that we share with some other friends on up in Bledsoe County, so we go there quite often on the weekend. I don't get to read as much as I used to, but that's one of my pastimes. If I have some free time, I'll have books laying around my house.
I love to spend time with my friends. I love to read. I'm very active in my church at First Methodist. I'm on, unfortunately, way too many committees. I sing in the choir. I do things with them all the time.
I enjoy my family first and foremost. Travel is my second passion. I love getting outside of this community and bringing what I learned back to Murfreesboro. And being on the school board, I hope is something that's going to allow me to put some of that experience to use.
In my free time, I like to run when I have time. That's been a challenge lately. I like to read, I like word puzzles, and then we do like to go on trips. And when we go on trips, I always like to make sure we do something outdoorsy.
How did you make the decision to run for school board?
Well, it was not on my radar, but I'm friends with Collier Smith, who has been on the school board for the past 7 years, and she told me she was not planning to run again, but said we needed somebody who'd been a parent in the district. And I told her she was crazy. I was not going to do that. But then I thought about it, and the more I thought about it, the more I thought she was right, that we did need someone who had been a parent recently in Murfreesboro City Schools.
I've always felt an admiration and a connection to public schools. I'm a product of public schools. And when I saw an opportunity to fulfill a remaining term of Jared Barrett's seat, I thought it was a good time for me to stick my name in the hat and put my experience and intellect to work for the betterment of my community.
A lot of people said I ought to do it, just because they know that I have a lot of experience and that I've had experience at every level, parent, teacher, now it ended with administrator, and they know that I know a lot about the school system. So no, I was encouraged by several people.
Well, when I started working with Murfreesboro City Schools, I actually just kind of fell in love with the schools and the students, especially our more inner city schools, I think, because I have a passion for our students that are living in poverty, because I feel like their struggles are real.
How was it running a campaign?
It's been a very positive experience because I enjoy serving others. I always have, and I enjoyed going out and meeting people in the community. And my husband would tell you that that's something that he would probably like for me to settle down on, but I'm a public servant, and that's just something that I enjoy doing. So it was a positive experience. Whether I had won the election or lost the election, it was a positive experience for me.
Running a campaign is hard. I've worked on several campaigns, but I've never run one, and this is my first one to run, and it was my own. It's a lot of fun because you meet a lot of people that you probably wouldn't meet. I've made a lot of contacts that I think will be helpful for my position here and with our school system. And I spent a lot of time going to activities throughout the city that I'm honest, I never have been to before. So, and that was great too, because I felt good supporting all of those organizations as well.
Something I really like about running for school board is that it's nonpartisan. I feel like people don't judge me based on a party affiliation, and they're able to view me on my experience, my history, and you know, my commitment to the Rutherford County or Murfreesboro City Schools.
Running a campaign was difficult. When I first decided to do it, I thought, well, I'll just put my name out there and we'll see what happens. But I wasn't really taking into consideration my personality, I think. So once it started, I realized if you're going to do something, you got to do it right, and kind of went all in on it. And so for the past several months, there was, you know, work, and then when work ended, it was campaign, and my family was really forgiving and understanding and supportive, and I appreciate them for that.
What's at the top of your priority list as a board member?
For right now, I'm realizing how much I have to learn, so that's really my focus at the beginning, is just talking to people who've been on the board, going to the trainings that the Tennessee School Board Association puts on for us, and just learning as much as I can. But through all that, wanting to be open to hearing from parents, to hearing from teachers, and just listening to what people's concerns are and their ideas are across the district.
Well, I want to make sure that our city schools have the funding that they need to keep growing. Part of my work on the Rutherford, the St. Thomas Rutherford Foundation, I just learned that there's almost 3,000 children being born this year in the hospital. I mean, that's a whole school's worth of children. And so, you know, nothing's going to matter if we can't keep building schools and keep finding a place for these kids.
I'm always drawn towards principals. I can't help that because of that, I did that for so long. But also, I really want to be in the schools a lot. I want to go to their events and just make visits and watch them teach reading and watch them teach math. And I know how those are supposed to look. So, I miss schools. I'll be honest, I miss schools, I miss kids, I miss teachers. So this is going to be a great way for me to get back into it.
A little personal project that I would like to work on now that I am elected, and that would be to go into some of these communities, because we have seen as educators that research shows that students who are in our lower income homes have a bigger achievement gap